What's going on, guys? Nick Foy here, and today we're going to be talking marketing for real estate professionals, real estate agents. We're going to talk about blog article ideas, different types of content you could create for your website that you can send to potential clients, as well as just having it on your website so that visitors who find your website from Google, from Facebook, from Zillow, and any other paid media campaigns you might be running to drive traffic to your own personal real estate agent website, you're going to want them to come across this educational content, and that's how they're going to see value in working with you. They're going to see this content. It's going to tell them that you are an expert in the field, that you know what you're talking about when they see your articles, and they can tell that you wrote them and that you created them specifically to help that person, and they're going to feel grateful for that information and be more likely to choose you over other agents. So it's also a great tool to have if you're just wanting to send out educational content to new clients. So maybe you've already signed a contract with them, like a listing contract, and you still want to send them these articles in an email linking to them, so you can say, hey seller, thanks for listing your home with me. Here's several articles I want to send you to educate you on the sell side of things. Or maybe you're working with a buyer client showing them houses. You could say, hey buyer client, here's several articles I want you to check out and read before we get together for our first showing, so that you can be better educated throughout this whole buying process. It's also a great way to convert leads into clients. So when you first get somebody into your sales funnel, they become a lead at the beginning. You can send them these articles through an email campaign. You can set up email marketing software like ConvertKit, which we'll talk more about in another video. And you can use that to educate the lead and try to convert them into a client down the road. So let's go ahead and dive into the 10 blog post articles that we're recommending realtors have ready on hand. So first, we've got the first time home buyer guide. This is going to be an informational guide that teaches a first time home buyer everything they need to know about buying a home. Definitely want to put FHA loans in your first time home buyer guide so that they can learn about the low down payment loan option of FHA loans. You can also put other financing options in this guide. And then we want to talk more about the process of offering on a house, what that entails, what the purchase contract entails. We want to talk to them about setting up their criteria so they can give it to their realtor ahead of time. How many bedrooms, how many baths, what zip codes, what price range. So just think about every question a beginner, a first-time home buyer might ask you, and save some time by putting it in this guide. That way you can cut down on those types of questions by giving them this guide to read, and then they won't have those same questions later on. So it'll help everybody be more efficient and educated. Number 2, we've got how to get a real estate loan. If you're working with buyers, they're probably going to wonder, how do they qualify for a loan, what the steps are. Teach them about the different documents they're going to need to prepare for the lender. Teach them about credit scores and how that can impact their interest rate, among other things. So overall, how to get a real estate loan is another important article. A lot of first-time buyers, as well as many traditional home buyers, are going to need, unless they can afford to just buy something all cash, which usually that's a very small percentage of the buyers that you're going to work with. Next, we've got types of real estate loans. So this could be its own separate article. You could also just have this built into your first-time home buyer guide, and you can pull it out and make another piece of content with it, so you can repurpose content in order to get more articles on your website. So types of real estate loans would be, FHA loans. We've got veteran loans. You've got the traditional conventional. You've got insured conventional. There's some construction loans. So just think of the different types of real estate products out there. Talk with a lender, maybe collaborate with a lender and have them give you ideas for this article, or maybe they can write the article and you guys can joint advertise in this article together. So there's a couple ideas for you with types of real estate loans. Number 4, we've got tips for improving your credit score. You already can imagine how many times you get people that contact you that have low credit scores and they're not even ready to buy yet until they get that credit score higher. So by having some sort of piece of content on your website, telling people different tips for boosting their credit score. When you get somebody who's not yet qualified to buy a home because of a low credit score, you can start off by sending them this article and helping them get on some kind of program to boost their credit score. And then they'll keep that in mind. They'll say, wow, that realtor took time out of his day to really help me get my situation under control, get my credit score higher. and they'll remember you down the road when they're ready and they finally have boosted their credit score, and they'll call you back and be ready to work with you. So that's another good way to potentially qualify future clients in the initial stages through a blog article. Number 5, how to choose the right realtor to work with. This is kind of a power move article. It kind of shows that you're just not all about the sale. You're actually going to give them insightful tips on how to choose the correct realtor for their needs. So you can create this guide, and it shows somebody all the different questions they should be asking a realtor. So it's kind of like how to interview a realtor. So you could just teach them what they need to look for, what questions they need to ask, and these different signs that will tell them, hey, this is probably the right fit for me if I work with this realtor. And by doing that, you're kind of going to build that trust, that loyalty, where they're probably going to end up using these tactics on you, but they're also going to kind of give you the advantage if they're interviewing you along with multiple other realtors, because you're the one who is open and transparent, telling them all these different things they need to look out for when choosing a realtor. And now they're going to feel more likely to trust you as opposed to going and interviewing other realtors. All right, number 6, real estate closing costs. A lot of clients are going to wonder what a closing statement is, what all the different charges are going to be on it, how much is it actually going to cost to close on a home. So you can have a little detailed guide that breaks down every type of closing cost they might see on a closing statement, and then you can present that to them. And that's one way. You could send this guide actually along with the closing statement, so that not only are they like educated ahead of time, but they have an example closing statement to look at while they're reading this guide. So you could maybe pull a previous closing statement from a previous deal, maybe white out the real numbers and the real address and just put in some fake numbers, kind of make up your own example closing statement sheet that you can send somebody with this guide. You can even make it like an email opt-in on your website, where they could read the guide on closing costs, and then they could download the example closing statement as like an extra bonus. So they have to give up their name and their email address by filling out some sort of pop-up form or some sort of form that's embedded into the blog article itself in order to get access to unlock access to that closing statement. So that's one way to capture some leads on your website, by having a blog article that then turns them into trying to fill out their information in order to get access to this secret locked up closing statement that only subscribers get access to. Number 7, the home selling guide. So just like we made a home buying guide, we should make a home selling guide that you can give to listing clients or potential listing leads that they can read through, and it educates them on everything they can do to prepare for a home sale, how you're going to price their home. It explains what comps are, how you're going to look at neighborhoods and houses that have recently sold around that zip code and try to find comparable homes. You can break down, staging tips. You could break down the closing costs they're going to pay. You could break down how commissions work and how you have to share your commission with another agent who brings the buyer. You also have your brokerage fees. That way they kind of understand better why the listing commission is what it is, and they don't have as many complaints about paying that much. You could break down and show them how all these different fees come out and you end up not actually making as much. So that kind of helps soften them to want to try to negotiate and finagle you at getting a lower commission rate with you. So it kind of helps ease some of those objections. So the home selling guide, probably one of your most important articles you should have on your real estate blog. Next, we've got home staging tips. Again, this just simply breaks down tips on how to stage a home. Is staging necessary? Because a lot of people are going to ask, do I really need to stage my home? And you could break down the pros and cons, along with just additional tips of how to clean their home and get it ready. And that's what the next topic is going to be, how to prepare your home for a showing. So teaching somebody about making sure it's clean, making sure they declutter so the home feels more open, more spacious, and then what they should go do during the showing. So a lot of homeowners might want to just drive down the road and kind of hide around the corner in the neighborhood and wait till the showing's over, but you can kind of break down there what you think somebody should do about how to leave their house and go enjoy the evening for a little bit while somebody's showing their home, and then talk to them about feedback that they're going to be getting after the fact and how to react, how to respond to feedback that they get, because you want that buyer's input on why they didn't want to go with your home, so that you can hopefully make some changes, and the next buyers who walk through the home are more likely to want to make an offer on it. Lastly, we've got number 10, home warranty tips. This is another one for buyers and sellers to both understand. because there's home warranty policies that can be purchased as part of the closing process. So educate your buyers and sellers on the home warranty so they can understand why it's either a good thing to get or maybe it's not a good thing to get depending on certain situations. So that's another helpful article. So overall, those are 10 articles to get you started marketing on your real estate blog so that you can use these as tools. You can copy the links to them and send them out in emails to prospective leads. You can set up automations. So when you get a new lead coming into your CRM, they can automatically get this initial starter email that blasts out all these different articles they could read to educate them. You can also have these articles just on your website in general so that people searching Google in your local area might come across them. So it's, you know, some SEO, some search engine optimization opportunities to attract organic, natural Google traffic, or you can use them as part of your paid campaigns. So you could run Facebook ads where you link back to these blog posts trying to educate cold traffic coming from Facebook. And once they read your article, they're now more warmed up to who you are and the helpful information they just got from you, so they're more likely to maybe contact you to be their realtor down the road. Alright guys, if you're not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, help us out, and stay tuned for future videos. You can check out our playlist as well where we organize videos by topic, and you can find more relevant content to help you in whatever your needs and whatever you're looking for. Thank you for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys in my next upload coming soon.